They were drinking coffee and not looking at each other in the ticket booth half an hour later when the dwarf came out of the mirrors. He took his hat off and started to approach the booth when he saw Amy and hurried away. "He wanted something," said Amy. "Yeah," Ralph squashed out his cigarette idly. "I know what, too, but he hadn't got the nerve to ask. One night in this squeaky little voice he says, 'I bet those mirrors are expensive.' Well, I played dumb. I said, 'Yeah, they were.' He looked at me waiting, and when I didn't say any more, he went home. But next night he said, 'I bet those mirrors cost $50, $100. I bet they do,' I said. And I laid me out a hand of solitaire." "Ralph," she said. He glanced up. Why you look at me that way?" "Ralph," she said, "why don't you sell him one of your extra ones?" "Look, Amy, do I tell you how to run your hoop circus?" "How much do those mirrors cost?" "I can get 'em second-hand for $35. "Why don't you tell him where he can buy one, then?" "Amy, you're not smart." He laid his hand out on her knee. She moved her knee away. "Even if I told him where to go, you think he'd buy one? Not on your life. And why? He's self-conscious. Why, if he even knew I knew he was flitting around in front of that mirror in Screwy Louie's room, he'd never come back. He plays like he's going through the maze to get lost like everybody else. Pretends like he don't care about that special room. Always waits for business to turn bad late nights, so he has that room to himself. What he does for entertainment on nights when business is good, God knows. No, sir, he wouldn't dare go buy a mirror anywhere. He ain't got no friends, and even if he did, he couldn't ask them to buy him a thing like that. Pride, by God, pride. Only reason he even mentioned it to me is I'm practically the only guy he knows. Besides, look at him. He ain't got enough to buy a mirror like those. He might be saving up, but where in hell in the world today can a dwarf work? Dime a dozen, drug on the market outside of circuses." "I feel awful. I feel sad." Amy sat staring at the empty boardwalk. "Where does he live?" "Fly trap down on the waterfront. The Ganges Arms. Why?" "I'm madly in love with him, if you must know." He grinned around his cigar. "Amy," he said, "you and your very funny jokes."